guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking down my braids and talking about why I am not paying off all of my debt. So let's dive in. I pay off all my debt tomorrow. Not the house, but everything except for the house. But I'm choosing not to, and I think it honestly might be the best money move that I make this year. So there are definitely strategic reasons to delay paying off zero interest debt. Mind you, none of this debt is like getting any interest on it. This is definitely different from ignoring debt, which I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to also share some reasons why it might be right for you or why you might want to consider doing this yourself. So I have a 0% APR credit card and a 0% APR personal loan. So neither of these pieces of debt are gaining interest. The credit card is mostly expenses from when I bought my house and I was moving out of an apartment into the house, and there's also some other nonsense on there. And then the 0% APR loan is something that I took out to pay for AC repair for my air conditioning. Was not working when I moved into my house. So I have until November to pay off the credit card, and then I only have 4 months left to pay off the loan, like 4 more payments where it'll still be interest free. Both of them, majority of the year, are not getting any interest. So again, this is planned, and I'm not procrastinating paying it off, but I am not just going to move all that money out of my savings today to pay off those pieces of debt. So I'm really not avoiding my debt. My goal was to optimize cash flow. So basically, it was important to me to do it this way because I needed to keep my savings intact, whether it was a job loss or something going on with my car or just other life stuff, like especially with people talking about the economic downturn and we're in a recession. Like, that makes it so important for you to have emergency savings. Like, you always want to have something in your emergency savings. Some people will say 3 months of expenses. Some people will say 6 months of expenses. I'm a 6-month kind of person where, like, once I have that 6 months, I'll feel good. But since that's pretty much where I'm at now, I'm definitely not going to go ahead and blow it all to pay off my debt. But basically, it's really relevant, especially I feel like for people in early career like myself. The job market right now is very volatile, and so it makes sense, especially also if you're like a contract worker, to be having a very secure emergency savings. If I pay off this debt right now and I lose my job next month, then I have no savings and possibly even more debt. And so for me, it just makes sense to prioritize paying off the debt as I can and keeping my savings healthy. So it just comes with peace of mind. It's the best option for my mental health, and that just causes me to have a lot less anxiety. Additionally, since this debt is 0% APR, I can be using that money to make more money for me in other places, and not in like a scammy way of like, make your money work for you, but genuinely that money is in a high yield savings account, and a high yield savings account earns interest on a monthly basis, based on what you have. And while interest rates are low for these accounts, like definitely lower than when I opened it, I would rather leave the majority of the money in my high yield savings account, and then just take the money that comes from my paycheck to pay off those loans, instead of moving a chunk of money out of my high yield savings to pay off the loans and then rebuild my high yield savings. It's also enabling me to continue to save for retirement because, again, I'm just not prioritizing paying off the debt right now. If I was to put $1,000 into my high yield savings, I would be gaining interest on it, versus if I just took the $1,000 and paid off my debt, I'll be debt free. But again, there's the opportunity cost. So again, just early career, I feel like things can be unpredictable, which is why I really value having a savings. Now, what I will say is that there are definitely instances where you should absolutely not wait to pay off your debt. This is not for everybody, and so I know myself and I have like a pretty high level of financial discipline, and so I can make this work for me. But what I always say is like personal finance is a personal choice. So don't just try to blindly apply the things that other people do to your life, but seriously get personal with it and think through what makes the most sense for you. So some reasons why you would not or should not wait to pay off debt. If you are the kind of person who's going to take that extra cash and spend it irresponsibly because you feel like you got it, go ahead and pay off your debt. Go ahead and pay off your debt, because that is not the best use of your money. If you're the kind of person who notices that like your 0% period of APR is coming up and you don't have a payoff plan, go ahead and just pay off the debt. Don't try to strategize. Don't try to do a little bit at a time. If you have the money and your APR is almost up, go ahead and pay it off. Like, don't take the risk that you could build all of that interest back just because you were trying to game the system. If your debt is causing you emotional stress or financial confusion, pay it off. Absolutely pay it off. Like, sometimes I do feel like my debt is more daunting than it is, because it's like I'll get my paycheck and then I'm budgeting and then the money is gone because I do zero-sum budgeting. And I'll be like, man, I feel so broke. I feel like I don't have enough to make ends meet. I don't really say that I'm broke because there's power in the tongue. But if you are the kind of person that's like, I need to have the money truly and readily available because this debt makes me feel poor or makes me feel broke, go ahead and pay off your debt. Go ahead and pay off your debt. The money that I'm making in interest in my high yield savings is nice, but it's not anything crazy. It's like 20, 30, 40 bucks a month, but it's not anything that's gonna really move the needle in any significant way. So if that is something stressing you out, pay off your debt. Also, if you are tempted to use the freed up cash to take on more debt, go ahead and pay off your debt. Like, again, I have enough money in my savings right now that I could pay off my credit card balance, which is around maybe $3,300, and the personal loan I feel is around $1,600. So we're talking about $5,000 worth of debt. I do have $5,000 in my emergency savings. However, if you start feeling like, oh, I got, for example, $10K in my emergency savings, like I'm gonna go on a really luxurious vacation, and you know dang well you don't really have $10K, you have $5K, because remember, you have that debt. If that is something that is, that's the kind of tricks your mind plays on you, go ahead and pay off your debt. I'm so happy I have not cut my hair yet. Go ahead and pay off your debt. My financial plan moving forward is something that really excites me, because honestly, once this debt is gone, y'all, it'll be such a breath of fresh air. I saw another creator on here. I follow a lot of personal finance folks, and someone had said, once you get your debt paid off, it feels like you got a raise. And I am so excited for the feeling like I got a raise, because mind you, my credit card, I'm paying $700 a month on that credit card to get it paid off. $700 a month. My life is so depressing. It's not depressing, but like my spending habits have had to change dramatically. I have really just had to cut back. I've had to say no to fun. I don't have any real vacations planned this year. Like, I am living on limited means, okay, to make sure that this debt is paid off. When I get back $700 a month in my budget to do whatever I need to do with, because mind you, I don't have to do like a debt snowball, debt avalanche. I just have these two pieces of debt. Maybe I put more money towards my mortgage. Maybe I put more money towards my retirement. Maybe I buy a Louis V bag. Like, who knows? And then the other piece of debt is that loan. So I'm paying probably like $230 a month on that. So I'm paying almost $1,000 a month on debt. And that is, by Christmas time, baby, it's gonna be gone. Like, I am literally so excited for it. So I definitely am tracking it very diligently. Every time I get paid, I figure out exactly where every dollar is going to go. I don't have like a traditional budget, to be honest, which maybe will be something that I start in 2026. I don't have a traditional budget. I do track every dollar I spend in the sense that I wake up every day and I look at my credit card statement and I look at my debit card statement and I make sure there's no funny business. But as you all know, I've also been doing a lot of cash-based spending this year. So it's interesting because I do feel like I'm spending less money, but it also is a lot harder to track those cash purchases. And so I don't know how I feel about this system. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to spend less, then go ahead and use cash. But if your goal is to track every dollar and see where your spending is going, then maybe you need to keep using like a debit card or something. Definitely once I get all of this debt paid off, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so amazing. It's gonna be so amazing. And I'm also trying to think through potentially getting a car for my 30th birthday next year. I don't know. I'm going back and forth with that. Like the way that I was brought up and the way I was raised, cars were always just seen as a utility. It was never really seen as like a luxury or like, anything fancy. It's like, well, growing up, my dad would just get a car from the Goodwill Auto Auction, take care of it, drive it till the wheels fall off or until it hit, 200, 250K miles. And then he would go back to the auction and get another car and then do the same thing. Anyways, I wonder what other financial goals maybe I should have. I already bought a house, already paid off my student loans, about to be out of credit card debt in a couple months. I guess maxing out my retirement savings is probably the next thing because I don't want to be working till I'm 65. I don't even think I want to be working till I'm 60. I just want to, go in, have a good time, make the people laugh for a couple more decades, and then get out of there. That is truly, truly, truly what I fear is going to happen. But who knows what my career holds? Who knows? Anyways, that is pretty much what I wanted to share with y'all. I know that I kind of freestyled at the end a little bit, but basically there are a lot of different ways to approach 0% APR debt. It totally depends on your brain, your spending habits, your discipline. As I try to always tell people, personal finance is extremely personal. And so, I hope that this video maybe could just show you a couple different thoughts, a couple different ways to explore your debt management and what that looks like for you. I am going to keep taking these braids down and then keep doing my hair at home for free because that's what aligns to my financial goals right now. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was not too chaotic. I am going to have more content for y'all soon about home ownership, debt management, and all of the stuff that I love talking about. So thanks for joining along. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Y'all already know the deal. And then I'll be back with more content for you soon. Bye.